big fans, and welcome to the Big Bakery, where all our jokes are half-baked, and today I'm doing an interview with Greg from GJBricks. GJBricks is a channel here on YouTube that started on the 1st of March 2018, and he has about 800 subscribers by now, which is really great. He does a lot of great videos on Lego trains and has a very impressive Lego city too. So without further ado, let's say hi to Greg from GJBricks.
Hey Jacob, first off let me say a big thank you for asking me to do this video with you. I've been a fan of your channel for a long time. We actually started our channels about a month apart, but I set my channel up in March. I actually started doing it properly in April when I got back from a trip to the UK. So we started about the same time, I think, together. And I think we found each other about the same time thanks to the magic of YouTube. I've really enjoyed watching your channels. The energy you put into your videos is just infectious. I love it. One of the things you said earlier on really rubbed off on me, which was about really making sure you're enjoying what you're doing. And I just, yeah, there were a couple of videos I did early on which I actually found a bit painful, but I love Lego and I was doing it, and I took a sort of step back, and everything I do now has really benefited from that one comment. So I'm going to start by saying a big thank you for that one, and I look forward to doing a lot more work with you soon.
I wasn't aware that stuff that I said could have such a long-lasting impact. I'm really happy you found that useful, and I've been a great fan of yours for such a long time, and I really enjoyed a series of videos you did that was called Top 5 and a bit something. I really enjoyed that one, and I hope you'll bring that back at some point. But let's get on to those questions, and the first question is actually pretty straightforward. What made you decide to come back to Lego?
I will preface this by saying I never strictly left Lego, but I was a very casual collector slash, I got Lego sometimes when I needed something to make me feel good. I'm a massive Technic fan. I've got a huge Technic collection, and I'll show you that one day. Especially there's a couple of sets I'm very proud of that I have that I absolutely love. I bought them for mechanical reasons because they've done something in the Technic that I've always wanted to see. I tried to do as a kid and never could because the parts didn't exist, and now they did. So yeah, there's a couple of sets like that. There's a few sets I've missed out on Lego as well, Technic wise, that I wish I had. But I've always been a Star Wars fan, so I have collected bits of Star Wars over the years. I've got most of the Force Awakens sets. I did really enjoy those ones, especially the Millennium Falcon. Always wanted a Falcon. But I also was a big fan of the Exoforce series. I really thought, I've always been a mech fan. I've always loved Mech Warrior and things like that. So that was a really good series for me. But I made the decision back in about February 2018 to really kick it up a notch, because I'd been watching channels like GJBricks and Brick Vault and people like that, and I just really enjoyed the content and the stuff people were creating, and I really wanted to do something for myself, but something I could do with my kids. And I really felt Lego was that connection, because I started with Lego at the age of 2. And so for me that was really like a good way, and I was right. You've seen the videos I've done with Joss, my eldest daughter. My middle daughter Callie already wants to do it. My youngest baby's picked out a Lego set for me already, but we build together. We quite often sit down. I've got a box of bricks just for them. We'll sit down at their table and make something together. I've got a few sets for them that we build together, things like that. So it's been really good, and they love coming in this room and playing with the city. And it's quite nerve-wracking at times, but they're really good with it. They love it. So yeah, that's why I've got back into it, and I love sharing my joy of Lego, and I want to share more of it, and I'd like to find more time. And I'm actually learning a lot from not being in it for so long. I'm learning a lot of techniques that I never did because I've never been doing it this way before. It's just been fascinating. Watching channels like JC and things like that is inspiring every day. I'm glad he's a friend of mine now as well. It's really good. This community has just been awesome. So that's why I got back into it.
That's a great story, Greg. I really like how you are emphasizing the uniting powers of Lego, how it will unite young and old, and you can build together like that. That is wonderful, and also cool to meet a guy who hasn't really quit Lego but just had sort of a casual relationship with it. That is very nice. But then I'd like to ask you, what is your favorite thing about Lego?
My favourite thing about Lego, I did hint on it just then in my first answer. I mean, the way my kids have connected with it and me, and it's something they like. They look forward to the weekends because it's Daddy Lego time, for example. But I actually find that most people can really relate to Lego. It's interesting when I said to my friends, oh, I've started a Lego channel. And they actually, you know, I was expecting maybe a bit of mockery from some of them, but they actually were all genuinely interested, and they all said, oh yeah, I really love Lego, like, you know, the things you can do with it, like the new Falcon collectible set and stuff like that. And then you actually talk to people and you find out how many people actually really do love these little plastic blocks that have been around for so long. So you know, they've held on to it from their childhood, their kids play with it, all of those kind of things. So I just really love how it's connecting people. I think it's brilliant, and I love what Lego's done on social media. I mean, I'm building a marketing platform focused around social media, and you know, the Lego Ideas is an absolute prime example of doing social media right, and it's really, I think, brings the community together. There's so many groups on Facebook I'm in that share their Lego ideas, and we talk about how to improve it and things like that outside of the Lego Ideas website. That's been brilliant as well. I mean, I literally could spend 24/7 doing Lego at the moment, which is tempting, but I can't do that. I actually do need to do my job as well. So yeah, that's one of the things I love about Lego. It's really connecting people like me and you. We've come to know, we've become friends, I think, from doing this. It's a good example of it as well as the BrickTuber network that we've just launched as well. That's another prime example of how Lego connects people. So I'm excited by it. I'm excited by how many new people I'm going to get to know through it, and yeah, where the future holds me with this one.
I think a lot of Lego YouTubers can recognize that story you tell where you expect to be mocked by your friends when you tell them about your Lego YouTube channel, but then they actually have genuine interest and think it's pretty cool what you do. I think that's very, very true, and I think that goes for a lot of Lego YouTubers. But let me ask you something else. What is the main inspiration for your Lego city?
That's a good question. Well, I think my number one driver is actually trains. I love trains, and Lego trains is something I played with as a kid, and I always wanted more of them but never got them because they were quite expensive. They still are quite expensive, but Lego trains was something that really, like, I love. Like, you can see what I'm trying to do down here with my cargo depot yard. I've got a good selection of trains. I've got my own mock train in progress at the moment as well. On top of this is modifying a couple of other ones. So trains was a driver, but I just love telling stories. I love, like, and again, I'm going to go back to, you know, there's a lot of channels out there where they really sort of tell a story with their city, and I think that's really good, and it's trying to create those stories is what has driven my city. So I've got a Ninjago district I'm working on. I've got a theme park area that's not as big as I would like, but it fits in the space I have. I've got around that one. I've got a residential area that's a bit different. I've got the city area up the top, or what I call the city area, and then I've got the train depot yard. And then there's lots of little stories woven in there. There's a bit of a harbour area. There's some stuff going on over there. There's going to be the Flintstones is going in, and it's just those moments, those stories. That's what's inspiring me about Lego, and I expect this to change in the future a lot. I expect it to keep growing. I expect to build some bigger buildings. I expect to do stuff, adding some more layers in, like I want to add a raised train area. So yeah, that's the inspiration for my city. In terms of, like, the channels I love, I mean, I love watching Bevins Bricks. I think his city is, you know, he's a good one for me because he's actually one of those ones that has a massive city, but he puts lots of effort into the detail of it, which is something that happens where a lot of the big cities don't put the detail in, they just build big. He is focused on those little moments in there. JC, Small Brick City, prime example. It's those moments that are in there. Kaz from Blockhead again. Just those moments are what gets it for me, and there's so many videos on YouTube that really nail that, and I love watching those videos, and those are what inspires my city. Yeah, that's the answer.
I really like how you are integrating stories into your Lego city. I really think that's an important part of making it seem real and come alive. And I also like that you are doing mocks. And speaking of mocks, what brick do you find the most useful?
What brick do I find the most useful? That's a cutting question you got there. There's so many useful bricks, and I never seem to have the right one I need at the right time. But I will say, I made a comment to someone the other day about one brick. I'm going to show you one of my favourite bricks, and then I'll show you the brick I find the most useful. So I'm going to go with these ones here, the 1x1 modified brick with the studs on the side, be it with one stud, 2 studs or all studs on it. I just seem to find those really useful, especially if you're doing studs out stuff. But yeah, I found that one particularly useful for a lot of things. But what I seem to use a lot, and this seems to relate to the fact I like trains, is actually this. The 2x3 modified plate with the hole in it. Yeah, I did look it up on Bricklink before I did this. But this piece, I've got a lot of these now because I seem to need them a lot. They're very useful for, you can put studs through there, you can use strings through them. They're very good for connecting pieces. I've seen them used in a whole heap of ways. So yeah, that's the one I have a lot of, and I use a lot as well in my set. So yeah, that answers that question. I mean, there's a ton of other bricks I like. I never seem to have enough like colours. I never seem to have enough grey bricks, for example. So my bridge here is a testament to that one. I need to build a whole retaining wall up there. I'm wondering if I'm going to do it in brick, or I'm actually thinking if I can do something a bit different now. I'm still figuring that one out. And then rock work. Let's not talk about rock work. But those are my main bricks that I like. And then ones I use a lot are slopes and plates, obviously. But yeah, that 2x3 modified with the hole is my #1 brick.
I don't think I ever saw anyone else choose that brick for their favorite, but I do think it has a lot of great potential and seems very useful for the things that you are doing. So let's move on to the last question. What is the next goal for your YouTube channel?
One thing I really like about my YouTube that I'm trying to focus on is I want to not just do stuff that people watch and enjoy. I actually want to do things that will help people as well, and that, you know, involves mocks and things like that, tutorials. I want to do more of that. That's me learning how to do things and helping other people do those things, as well as things I've created and sharing those with people. What I also want to do is do a lot more mock work. I find Bevin inspiring because he's just like this powerhouse of creativity. His jewelry video he uploaded the other day, where he'd taken the inspiration from a small Batman set and turned this whole little jewelry store into this massive tower. Is awesome. I love that. But he's just a powerhouse of ideas. I love that. But I also, as I say, one of my things I want to do is really help people as well. And my background is in marketing, so one of the things I want to do is try and help people make sure they're doing things right with their channels and stuff like that. So I see a small series, like an ongoing piece once a month perhaps, where I'm helping people think about things like SEO, where search engine optimization, which they have no idea about. Some simple tips to do that I think would really help. How to brand your channel, I'm learning that myself, so I'm doing some stuff around that one. I've just relaunched my channel branding, as you know, so that kind of thing, trying to do that's where I really want to sort of go, is trying to sort of go beyond that and actually give back to the Lego community. I think is my #1 goal. I've always tried to do that with what I do. I try to make people happy and inspire them. That's where I want to go, so yeah.
I think that's a great goal for your YouTube channel, trying to help other people with their mocks and trying to help them out with their channel is a great idea, and I'm really looking forward to following that. But that's about all the time we have today. I'd like to say thank you, Greg, for coming out. It has been wonderful to have you here. I really enjoyed making this little interview.
Again, thank you so much for doing this with me, Jacob. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed doing it. Your questions were challenging and got me thinking there, which was really cool. I will take this chance to do a shout out about the BrickTubers group that we've just launched. So that's where Jacob is one of the founding channels of that one, where a group of us are chipping together to actually kind of do what I just said around helping each other, helping the community, trying to promote the Lego community within YouTube and outside of YouTube as well, but predominantly in YouTube. So that's where we're going, and this kind of collaboration that we're doing here is an exact example of what we're trying to do, trying to grow and share ideas, share knowledge, those kind of things. So yeah, it's been really fun, Jacob, getting to know you and doing these videos together. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to doing more with you in the future and some live streams as well.
So that was Greg from GJBricks, and if you enjoyed this little interview, you should head over to his channel where he is interviewing me, talking about all things Lego as well. There's a link in the description below, and maybe I remember to put one up here as well. But that's all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you guys next Monday.